Once upon a time, there was a surfer in the ocean. He was scared because of a shark. The shark was chasing him and getting closer. He was afraid he would be eaten.
The surfer's dad was nearby in a boat. Dad was chasing the surfer who happened to be a baby. The baby was beating up the shark. Dad is happy because the baby is beating up the shark.
The dad was going through time. He finds a door to go through time. The door was like a hole in ocean. The 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 baby goes through first, then the dad falls in.
Sounded good.
Yeah.
As they go through time, a dragon joins them. The dragon flies through the group, but luckily they are okay.
They go back home and Monkey breaks and they are not happy.
They are happy now because they know it is their pet monkey.
Behind the scenes, Elijah, Devon, and Nathan's story begins as a storyboard. The storyboard consists of a simple beginning, middle, and end. The boys right away decide on a shark as the beginning of their story that is attacking a group of people. I really like the sun that's portrayed here because it has sunglasses on. I think that's pretty cute. This is where the boys start having a lot of fun, and I can overhear them talking and writing a lot about a man that's on a boat and he falls off into the ocean and the shark is down underneath. And I believe it was Elijah that did a lot of the picture drawing at this time, but still very involved, and Nathan is involved with the writing part of it. So I was impressed with each student being able to have and work at their own level. This is where the boys really start getting creative in their events. That's why I really thought the James Bond theme was the best theme for them, because it was one episode after another. I had to kind of cut them off, and otherwise their story would have been going on until the end of second grade. So they were very excited about it. Rough draft. Elijah, Devon, and Nathan loved to talk and draw. They had great ideas and then had challenges getting their ideas in writing. Organizing their ideas was also a bit of a challenge. From the storyboard, you can see how the writing could possibly take the same form. The boys start out with writing a little bit about how their story starts. They start out with once upon, and then I think the conversations between the three of them got to be so carried away, and they got ahead of themselves quite often during the first page. So it was difficult for me to understand what it was they were trying to write here, but I do see that there was a surfer in the ocean and they wanted the surfer to have his surfboard break by a shark. So we start out the next day again by writing once upon a time, a good beginning to our story, who the character was in the story, and we just start out developing that, where he was. We began with drawing some pictures so we could elaborate in writing later on. The boys were super excited to start writing this story because it had a lot of action in it. And on the second page, they were more interested in developing an action right away where the surfer is being chased by a shark and almost eaten by a shark. Dad comes out to save the surfer, who happens to be a baby. Elijah, Nathan, and Devon also found it very helpful to continue to draw a lot of pictures. The second event that happens in their story is that the characters end up finding a hole in the ocean that carries them through time. So I found this to be a really great story, and it had a lot of potential. They did have a little bit of a challenge with getting a transition in there, so I helped them along the way by suggesting a few different things for their story that would help transition them from surfing into a hole. The next event shows a dragon that comes flying through the group as they are taken through time. I found it really interesting with this too because it almost seemed like the boys were seeing things in scenes with events happening around pictures and things that were happening. During the editing process, instead of having the boys look up each and every word in the dictionary, which I knew would be a very big task for them, I started to write the correct spelling underneath the words that they needed to fix. So later on, they could just simply erase and copy the correct spelling and learn from it that way. I really feel this is a much better strategy when you have students who need a lot of help with looking up words and with writing. It really keeps them encouraged and it scaffolds the learning a little bit more appropriately for them. I really liked the way these boys worked together to have an element of excitement in their story, and many events that were different had different twists to them. And they also had an element of humor when the monkey ended up being their own monkey that breaks into the house.